And we are back, episode 43 of Journey to a Million, not 44, Zach, here on the podcast. Sorry, I always like to ask Zach what episode we're on, or maybe even Jared
Getting closer
sometimes.
by the week.
You are getting close. So
At
there's
least
been
he
a time
didn't say
he was 8
32.
episodes off one time.
Yeah.
It was some like 2 months off almost. Whatever. We're all here. Full squad is here after week 2 of football. We're here to preview week 3 as well. We're going to talk about how we did with team picks, fantasy player picks, all that good stuff here on this Wednesday evening. Myself, Drew Skyberg, joined again by Zach Roush and Jared Valesky. I know his name's down here, right? You can see it. There it is. Moving him back. There. Now, back in our usual spots here. So how are you guys doing on this Wednesday night?
Doing good.
All right.
We'll take it. We'll take both of those. I'm not doing so well because, you know what? I had Trey Lance in 2 leagues. Very disappointing here. We're wishing Trey Lance the best. That's kind of something I wanted to mention here right away. And, that was kind of on my mind. But looking at, I guess you guys want to go through some of those team and picks and fantasy picks, kind of talk about how those went about. Jared, I'll kind of pass it to you here. Do you want to talk about how that went last week?
Yeah. My team picks were pretty bad. I had the Colts. Yeah. Vikings got destroyed by the Eagles. Ravens lost to the Dolphins. They choked that one. Panthers lost, and I had the Buccaneers. So I went 1-4 for my team picks.
Yep.
Yeah. My players were a little better. I had Lamar Jackson, good week. Michael Thomas, pretty good week. CMC had a decent week. Mark Andrews had a good week, and then Miles Sanders picked it up late. So I think I won the players, but I got last in the team picks.
You did win the player picks. Zach, how are you feeling about how you did? I mean, you've been kind of Mr. Consistent so far to start the year.
Yeah, my player picks. I think I got to shoot for a little bit more upside this week because I was taking kind of some of the safe picks, and it got me in second, which I guess is to be expected. But team picks, I'm doing good. You guys, not so much.
Yeah, I'm 500. I'm middle of the pack, but again, I'm picking these teams, so it's not like. I should be doing better. But I got, in my defense, I started Trey Lance last week. I had Alvin Kamara out for the game, injured. I had Mike Evans, who went in for injured Michael Pittman, who I originally had, gets ejected in the fourth quarter. I know it's fourth quarter. And then from there, Waller did okay. And I had Aaron Jones, and he did well. So did I have Aaron Jones?
Well, I keep taking a specific team that I probably won't be taking anymore, so I won't have to worry about Colts.
For the team picks, yeah.
So I won't have to worry about.
I'll be taking the Colts opponent if I can.
Hey,
they might go first overall
today. Good teams.
They might.
Chiefs going first overall today.
Pick.
That's
Jared's
something.
got the first pick, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Chiefs are not going first overall.
Oh, so they're going second overall. It looks like to Drew. So that is something we'll keep in mind. But here I got the numbers up. I'll go through kind of how we're looking overall through 2 weeks. Jared and last in the team picks 4-6. Drew, myself 5-5 there, and then Zach leading the way 8-2. For fantasy picks, again, this is PPR, 4 point per passing touchdown scoring. Keep that all in mind. At the bottom, Drew is at the bottom, 130.16. Zach is in second with 172.98. Only a 43-ish point difference. And 43. Then, Jared leading the way. Sorry, 42 is just to keep it nice for me. Jared leading the way, 187.92 points. Look, I have a lot of catching up. This might be like 2 or 3 weeks of just having above average weeks for me to catch up. So kind of in a tough spot, having back-to-back weeks of putting up under 70 points. Again, I know. But I need to maybe stop picking some of the same guys. Maybe that will be a start, but
maybe it's a lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you guys want to start then. We'll start kind of how we did like last week's episode. Let's start in week 2. Let's talk about some key takeaways. Let's talk about our favorite games. And with that, Zach, I'm going to go to you. What was your favorite game to watch last Sunday?
I guess I watched the Bengals and the Cowboys game, so I won't say that was my favorite because that game was not fun to watch. But We really saw Bengals struggle again. Their line was not good. Kind of a recurring trend after week 1 as well. So they really need to get that figured out. And Burrow has not looked sharp yet. So it's kind of concerning.
Are you worried about Burrow? I'm not.
Super Bowl hangover.
He missed a lot of the offseason. He with his appendix. He had to get surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I
think
don't know.
there's-
I'm not buying it.
So Zach, are you saying that your favorite game of the week was Buccaneers and Saints?
I didn't get the pleasure of watching that game. So we can't say that, but I'd say the Packer game if I had to pick a favorite just because they actually look decent.
Oh yeah, all of Sunday. I think that was probably like the best one. But you know how we were making jokes about Patriots Steelers about that game being really tough to watch. At some point,
Yeah.
you know, it was, but it was a lot better than I thought. I think Mac Jones going deep. Nelson Aguilar. It actually was some offense that was entertaining. Also, Jacoby Myers had himself a nice day. I guess that was just something I wanted to touch on. And like that, obviously, that wasn't my favorite game to watch, but it was better than I thought. Again, Packers probably be my favorite one of the week being Sunday night. And Jared's, yours has to be the Jacksonville Jaguar.
So least favorite, that was that one. Least favorite. We don't have to talk anymore about that game. My favorite
just getting started.
Ravens Dolphins.
My favorite was Ravens Dolphins. I was watching almost the whole second half because the Colts game was, got too far gone at that point. So tuned into that one. Tua looked great. Even Lamar looked amazing, but Dolphins were able to get it or pull it out. I think Tua, Waddle, and Tyreek Hill combined for like 120 fantasy points, just them three, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm sure that's gonna be someone's takeaway, but I mean, this has been a question around the whole fantasy football industry. Can Tua Tagovailoa support, let's say, 2 top 15 wide receivers in PPR? Yes or no?
Yes, but unfortunately, that means Gesicki's value is not existing.
We're not talking about Mike Gesicki, Jared. He has no value in here in this scenario.
More than Cole Kmet. So
a good one. Okay,
yeah.
But like, do you think he could, Zach?
I'm gonna say yeah, just because Mike McDaniels hasn't been afraid to let him air it out, let him throw. So we saw he had almost 50 pass attempts last week. Did he hit 50?
Yep.
Yeah, he was up there. So I think that definitely helps. And then obviously Waddle and Tyreek are both phenomenal talents that they can make that into production.
2 top 24 is probably where I'd go, which is still very good. I just think with Mike McDaniel, again, he's going to spread the ball out. Both those guys could double-digit targets, but I think there'll still be weeks like we saw this week. Raheem Mostert, led the backfield. Sorry. But Chase Edmonds, like, for example, I think Chase Edmonds could be the guy leading next week. I mean, Chase Edmonds could be the guy who gets double-digit touches next week, and then it could be another week, the next week, just like this week, where looked like non-existent, looked like he did something wrong at practice or something, because it was like, where was he? But I certainly think that could be a scenario, but I just think this Dolphins offense in general is going to be, I think it'll be better than how we perceived it, but I am not ready to, just call them the offense, that Jared predicted. I'm not there yet, Jared.
The Dolphins are better than you two perceived. I didn't perceive them to
right
be
now
this
they
good.
are.
What did I have them going? I think like 10-7. I think I said, or 9-8. I didn't have them this elite team.
I still think they're losing this week.
You guys just had them like 6-11 or whatever you said. So Zach originally, I thought he had like 4 wins for them or something like that.
No, I think I was at 7-10 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
We've seen this Dolphins team go on streaks, right? I mean, we saw them lose a lot of games. We saw them win a lot of games. I mean, I'm not buying into these first 2 games necessarily all the way out, even Tua himself, or even how he supported these 2 receivers. But it's just worth noting that these first 2 games, I mean, it certainly looks when Tyreek Hill has 11 receptions, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, and of course Waddle putting up a dominant game with that. It certainly seems like the potential's there, right? We just saw it happen. But is this sustainable? I don't think so.
We'll see. I mean, there's no really way to judge it right now.
I will say now I think they're going to be a wild card team, but I don't think they're winning that division yet. I mean, there's people right now saying that they can beat the Bills for that division. I don't see it.
We'll find out this week. Don't they play the Dolphins? They play this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they're like sneaking in the playoffs, Zach? Do you think they're going to be like the first team, like the 5? Like, where do you think they're going to be?
Well, originally I was thinking either the Broncos or the Raiders were going to make it, and then obviously like Chiefs, Chargers, one of them, whoever doesn't win the division, was going to be my first wild card. And then I was thinking the Broncos or Raiders, and then the Ravens or Bengals. But now obviously Bengals aren't looking good, Raiders aren't looking good, Broncos aren't looking good. So I think they have a legit shot at like a 5-6 wild card seed.
Yeah, and you can eliminate the AFC South because whoever wins the division is winning it, and everyone else is out.
Jaguars.
So.
Jaguars will win the division.
Only team with the winner right now.
There are a lot of people, like, we talk futures and stuff at live shows, right? Like, futures that just like, we're like, wow. I mean, I believe we mentioned even the Jaguars one in the South is one of the ones that most people were taking. I'm sure even with the Lions 6.5, like there was some hype behind that with Trevor Lawrence emerging as like a year 2 star. Which
he's looked a lot better.
He has, and if you actually watch some of his tape, right, the last few weeks of last year, especially even that Colts game, Jared, right? I mean, that was arguably his best game of the year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, he's looked a lot better.
It could be something. Again, it's hard to the Titans, right? I mean, it's hard to buy them right now with how they've performed, and even the Colts with that. So that division could be a toss up. I guess so. Let's kind of go into those takeaways too. We've been kind of talking about them already, but
I can tie into our first one right away.
Yeah.
I mean, since
go
we're
ahead.
already talking about basically the Colts, 2 takeaways I have is we already talked about the first one, the AFC South is terrible, and the second one I said Colts need to fire their head coach Frank Reich. I think we should blow up our system. I think the only coach that we should keep is Reggie Wayne, our receiving coach. There's got to be better options out there. I mean, it's been year after year. If we can't beat Jacksonville, who are we going to beat? It's infuriating as a Colts fan watching
Jared,
this team just be mediocre every year.
You've lost to Jacksonville in the last few years too, so
but Matt Ryan has never lost to Jacksonville in his career until last week.
I would say
Michael Pittman.
Well, still, and then their defense gave up 24 points to the worst team in the league.
Pittman wasn't making a 24-point difference in that game.
I'm not saying he would, but I'm saying, I don't know if you can necessarily blame Matt Ryan for.
Well, here's the thing.
If Michael Pittman was there, I think.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Carson Wentz was here. Now he's gone, and the Commanders are looking decent. We had Matt Eberflus last year. Oh my God, he was pretty bad. He went to the Bears. We got a new defensive coordinator. Nothing changed. It's got to be through Frank Reich. Everything that we do, our receiving core is through Reggie Wayne. You would think that they'd be better. It has to be through Frank Reich. All decisions have to go through him.
I think if the Colts miss the playoffs this year, he's probably going to be gone.
They missed last year, and they blamed it. I think they blamed it on Wentz so that it would cover them. As I think he's got their team didn't make it. Yeah.
So Frank Reich, are we in agreement though? He is on the hot seat, right?
Yeah.
We're all in agreement on that.
I mean, if they win 12 games this year, still, then no, keep him. But not happening.
Right now, he for sure is.
Yeah.
Again, Matt Ryan. Like I'm still confused about the game because I start Matt Ryan in fantasy league. I still won that week, but
can I say one more thing too?
Go ahead.
Our play calling is horrendous. How does JT get the ball 9 times? He was averaging 6 yards per carry. He gets 9 touches for like 50 some yards. And Matt Ryan has like 30 pass attempts. They gave the ball to JT. He had like a 21-yard run. I know. And he was getting stuffed in the first half. But coming out of the second half, he was looking like JT. And we just went away from him.
4 or 5 carries at half.
Yeah. We went we go into the second half. We start with him. 12-yard run. 10-yard run. Incomplete, punt. It's like, why? Why don't we just keep running? It's just it's painful to watch, and I'm sick of it. I don't know why. It happened last year too. We didn't use JT through like the first 4 games of the season, and he still ended up with 1,800 rushing yards or whatever he had. Like, he's the best running back in the game, debatably, and we don't use him. Like, why?
So, can I ask, if you had one person to blame more, are you blaming Frank Reich more for the loss or Matt Ryan?
Frank Reich, because Matt Ryan he's new to our system. He doesn't know what, like, he had a bad game, yes, but our defense didn't play good. Coaching was awful. We didn't give the ball to JT. It's just terrible. I mean, it's got to be Frank Reich. Nothing's been changing over the last few years, and it's all because of Frank Reich, I think.
So are you buying into the Jaguars might win the division? Or who do you think is winning the division yet?
I think the Colts
So-
and Titans are still going to
Colts.
be at the top, but I think that the Colts will still win it. I think the Jaguars will finish third, maybe second if they're better than the Titans, but I think the Colts just on paper have the best team in the division. They're just not using their team the way they should be.
I'm very concerned about the Titans. I will just say that.
Yeah, me
Henry
too.
hasn't
talk,
looked
yeah.
great. Their line isn't good.
And all they have is Henry, basically. So
They have no weapons, yeah, and
Mhm.
it's not been good.
yeah.
Yeah, another like with Nathaniel Hackett. I want to go to that Broncos Texans game. So
Oh my gosh.
So Nathaniel Hackett as a play caller right now. Again, we saw him in Green Bay, right? The offensive coordinator. But now him for the first time really isn't really like his first time in his career calling plays, because with LaFleur calling
Yeah.
plays in Green Bay, it has not looked good right now for Nathaniel Hackett. I'm not complaining with Cortland Sutton getting the ball, 7 receptions for 122 yards, but just a little concerned about how he's utilized Russ in the offense, especially, and then even Javonte Williams. I mean, it's just the play calls and situations in the red zone. It's looked horrible so far. I guess that was kind of one of my takeaways.
Do you guys see that video of Javonte Williams was like wide open standing in the middle of the end zone, and Russell Wilson was like dropped back to pass, and then he like didn't see Williams or something. He just didn't throw it to him.
I did not
Do you guys see that
but-
picture?
No, I
Oh, he
didn't.
actually saw him though.
I don't think he saw him. Like he was standing
I'm just like,
middle of the end zone right in front of Russ, and he didn't throw it to him. So
Whatever happened to Javonte getting like 70% and Gordon getting 30? It's been like 50-50.
That's what I mean. I know we
Nice.
can't
Yeah,
celebrate
should be-
early, but I was, looking at 50-50 being more of the case there. But
Mm-hmm.
again, that's something. We're only 2 weeks in the year. You look what can happen in a 1 week span. Rex Burkhead week 1 dominates, right? The touches and
play
stuff
week
in
2?
Houston. Week 2, where was he? I don't
Yeah.
know. So just keep that in mind. I mean, these things can happen. Burkhead got 3 targets last week and had no rushing attempts compared to Pierce having 15 for 69. So just 1 week can make a big difference, right? So maybe we'll see another change there, but that was like a big takeaway for me. Zach, do you have a takeaway that stood out for you?
Yeah. Garrett Wilson looked amazing. I was high on him coming out of the draft. I wanted him in my rookie drafts, and he looks like the wide receiver 1 in New York for the Jets. Flacco targeted him 14 times. He had that huge touchdown to end the game, and he had another touchdown earlier in the game. So
Why don't we just say all rookie wide receivers are great,
Yeah.
week 2. So Jahan
Yeah.
Dotson finds the red zone or finds the end zone again, puts up it was like 17.9 points or something. Chris Olave, a guy Drew was on the hype train for, 5 receptions, 80 yards. I know, smaller amount, but it was still great to see. My favorite one though was Drake London. So Zach was, I was like London 1A, Wilson 1B, or back and forth, right? I mean, that's kind of where I was, and both of them were like 1As in week 2 here going off. That was good to watch with the Falcons, especially because they almost even won that game. It was 31-27 was the final, even though it went out a little bit. But yeah, Drake London was 8 for 86 with a touchdown. Obviously, it was not as good as Wilson's numbers, I know, but it was still great to see. And he got 12 targets as well.
I mean, staying with the Jets, do you think Joe Flacco is elite, or
No,
is it still Zach Wilson?
this was when
Zach
Wilson comes
Wilson's
back.
week 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, week 3 we will still see Flacco though, so that'll be something. Some target shares that I found interesting was Tyler Higbee still has been a consistent guy in the Rams offense. He actually out targeted Allen Robinson again, and was right there with Cooper Kupp almost in targets. Kupp had 14. I mean, Higbee 9, so not really that close, but just some interesting stuff with the target shares. Because I want to talk about one more thing was really the Bears before we start going through our week 2 stuff.
I have a few
Oh.
more takeaways. I just want to read out.
Oh, okay.
Just a few more.
Just a few more. Jared's got 20 takeaways. Here they
Well,
are.
I'm just gonna zoom through them quick. So, are you guys buying into the Giants or not?
Yes.
You are.
NFC,
Kind
well,
of.
not NFC East sleeper because Eagles ruined that division by a couple games,
Yeah.
but
That
wild
offense
card
concerns
sleeper.
me a little bit.
Yeah, me
Giants?
too.
Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
that's fair.
Okay, something else I have is Jalen Hurts a top 5 quarterback for fantasy right now?
4 or
Yes.
6 point.
4.
Yes.
Would it be
Six,
different
I
if
will
it was
say. Yeah,
6?
yeah. 6, I will not right now. I mean, okay, I guess right now, yeah, still. But like at the end of the year, I think there are still guys who could take over his spot in 6 point. I mean, guys, I don't know. I still think there's upsides with guys like Tom Brady. I still think he can when people come back. I still think that could happen. Right, we're still
Jalen
only
Hurts
2
looked
weeks in.
really good passing though. He looked
Yeah.
really
Yes,
good.
he,
Monday night.
he's looked a lot better. The
Yeah.
relationship with AJ Brown, and if you bought low on Devontae Smith week 1, I hope you did. Like, I mean, I hope if there's any way you were able to, that's pretty cool. So
And then my last one is I think right now that Stefon Diggs is top 3 receiver. I think Kupp, Jefferson, and Diggs
fantasy or
are just in
just
general.
in general?
Yeah. I think he's outperformed Devontae, Chase. They haven't done much this year. So, I mean,
Well, Chase had a big week 1, and then he kind of struggled with the rest of the offense last week.
Diggs puts up 3 touchdowns. I mean, he just looks amazing. I don't know.
well, Stefon Diggs is the #1 receiver in fantasy. So
Well, I'm just not talking really fantasy. I'm just saying in the league.
you're
right
just
now.
talking from a talent perspective.
Yeah.
He's top 5 for sure.
Top 5.
We all had him top 5 going into the year. I think
yeah. So I'll stay at top 5.
that's all I got.
I want to talk about the Bears, and I'm maybe going to do some defense on how the Bears have done so far with the offense because, look, on Sunday Night Football, again, that didn't look good. And Jared's like, yep, Cole Kmet predicted it.
Well,
totally.
the Bears are just trash. Like you can't take Mooney and Kmet. They're not going to get the targets if Fields can't get them the ball. That's my whole point.
Kmet had 1 target.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah. And
Back-to-back weeks now.
I still think, which I actually have Kmet in 0 leagues. So, like, that might be, oh my gosh, Drew, you were hyping him up the whole year. I have him in 0 leagues. So, it's not really a big deal for me. Darnell Mooney's actually the only guy I have in another league, but it's a team I inherited. So, it was like,
all of us 3 combined. I mean, just individual too. We had more receiving yards than Mooney did last game. He had negative 4 yards.
Yeah, which I still think like Mooney was open in some of those some plays during the game. Like he was open downfield. They've targeted him downfield. One of his 2 targets. The other one was a play downfield. I still think with Mooney and especially Kmet, I still think there's hope in future weeks. But I do think there might only be one fantasy option on this offense. You know what I mean? That's worthy of starting. And right now it's David Montgomery. Is that kind of a fair assessment?
Yeah.
I think the week
been performing really,
and I think the week we're gonna still see weeks with Montgomery having like 40, 50 yards. I think that might be there that will happen, and I think in those weeks we'll see either Mooney or Kmet be those guys. But I just don't think this offense has the talent or has the potential to make it where you could start two of those guys even with confidence that they're going to do well. So maybe again, we were talking about start of year, like at least I was like, I like Mooney, I like Kmet, I like Montgomery, but there's no way this offense is going to produce all 3. And we're seeing Kmet and Mooney being kind of the guys who are losing out right now.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I got Cole Kmet, Zach Ertz in one of my underdog best ball leagues. My team's doing good right now. I got Josh Allen, Stefon Diggs, so they've been kind of carrying me. How many weeks is Cole Kmet going to outscore Zach Ertz?
1.
Rest of the season? Really?
His bye week?
I really think with Kmet, I think what could happen is I think you'll have maybe 4 or 5 weeks this year with him having double-digit points. But then there's going to be weeks again. It's going to be like Mike Gesicki, Jared, like last week. They're going to be in a similar boat. He's going to have 1 target, and guess what? He already did that back-to-back weeks. So,
but Mike Gesicki's got the best gritty in the league.
Oh, that was so bad.
That was tough to watch. That was a tough scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe a lesson learned for next year, even for some of us, including myself, is on bad offenses. Maybe you just pick one to hype up and stick with it, and maybe Kmet wasn't not the one to hype up. But again, it's all there still. 30-year breakout could still be there. Showed talent, was on track to receive the highest target share in his career, but it didn't happen. At least it has not yet. It's 2 weeks though. Is there any other takeaways you guys want to touch on? I see we're 25 minutes in. Do we want to start going to our prediction challenge stuff?
Yeah, we can go to it.
Let's
for
go
week
for it.
3. So how we do it, I mean, for people who've been around, you know how it works. We're gonna start with the team picks here. We basically, it's a snake draft. We pick 5 teams, and we pick teams who we think are going to win in week 3. And how it works is that, let's say, for example, Packers play the Buccaneers. I pick the Packers. Jared picks the Buccaneers. That is allowed as they are the opponents. If the Packers, of course, win, I'll go 1-0 in that. But we don't have to pick opponents as well. It's all on the Instagram if you have more questions about it, or we'll gladly answer at Drew Sports Crew. All right, Zach, you have the draft order about who is going first today.
Doing
Who do we
team
got?
picks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Team picks order is going to be Jared, Drew, and then myself.
There you go. So Jared's on the clock.
My first pick, I'm not going with the Colts. I'll go with the Chargers against Jacksonville.
Okay, well, I did have that one on mine. A little disappointed. Jared took that one. Okay, I got to take it.
No way.
Chiefs. I got to take it.
You know we beat the Chiefs like last time
Yeah,
we played them.
I know you beat
Jared, you know you
Jacksonville
lost
too,
it
but-
by 24 to Jacksonville, right?
Hey, it's a curse.
Last
we're
week?
Paying, we're paying Jacksonville to lose. I hope you guys know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going Philly at Washington. And then I am going
nice.
with this next one's tough. I'm going with Baltimore at New England.
I like
That
it.
was my next pick.
Now that
Actually.
you-
Well, then I get 2, right?
No.
Drew's up.
What
and
about-
then-
about me?
After Drew, after
Me,
you.
me,
and-
me.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to take why not take the Bengals? Bengals against
Ooh.
the Jets.
Ooh.
Doing it.
Ooh, that was
Doing it.
down
Bengals
far
got to
on
get a win.
mine. That was
They
down
got to
far
get a
on mine.
win.
All right. Well, then I will go Vikings against the Lions. And then I'll also go
That was on mine.
Raiders or Saints. We'll go Saints against the Panthers. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm on the clock. I'll take the Bills against the Dolphins.
Bold.
I'm going. This is tough. My top ones are gone. I'm going with. I'll go San Francisco over Denver.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go with. I'll go with the Rams over Arizona.
Okay. Oh no. I'm doing it. I'm taking Seattle over Atlanta.
Yep. I was going to do that too.
Oh nice. Okay, good.
Okay. Well, then I'll take Raiders over the Titans. And then for my last pick, I'll take the Steelers over the Browns. Can we take Thursday night game? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take Steelers over Browns tomorrow night.
Okay. Now I am stuck here. I really wanted to pick some of the Texans Bears game, but I cannot do it. I cannot do it at all.
You can always take the Colts against the Chiefs. Go against your other pick.
Why would I do that? I'm taking the Broncos. I'm taking Zack took the 49ers, right? I'll take Broncos.
Ooh.
With the last pick, I will go. I want to take the Jets so bad. I think that's gonna be upset. But I'm gonna go with Atlanta over Seattle. I think they match up with Seattle well.
Zach did put the Falcons as the number 32 worst team in the league, but he takes them to win.
I think they match up with Seattle well. They got Casey Hayward, AJ Terrell. They got a decent secondary for how bad of a team they are.
Yeah.
There you go. Now let's go through our player picks here. What's the order on that one? Hopefully I can actually pick a good team. Pick a team that's not hurt. I'm
Well,
first.
yeah.
I need it.
Yeah.
We also need to make sure. So what happens is when I switch, again, we use Fantasy Pros, as we mentioned in all of our episodes for when we're doing fantasy stuff. Sometimes it switches back to standard. So as we know, Michael Pittman gets a lot of receptions. I chose him last week. Drew is a cheater because he took him. That's basically what Jared came up with.
No, I said it didn't matter because he didn't play.
All right, so I go first. I really need to go first. Can I go first?
Yeah. It's Drew, me, and then Jared.
Oh, I really needed it. All right, well, I mean, Justin Jefferson's right outside the top 5 somehow. I got to take Jefferson number 1.
Cross him off my list.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. Oh, I want to take JT, but I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go with Jamar Chase against the Jets.
I think that's gonna be a shootout.
So Zach predicted my first pick. Do I even have to say it?
JT.
Yeah, I'll take JT.
Okay. Are you taking Pittman now too?
Well, he coming off injury.
What about Ashton Doolin?
Moali Cox.
You know
is
what?
still out
I'm
there,
gonna
too.
be bold here.
Matt
Ashton
Ryan.
Doolin.
No, I'm gonna take Michael Thomas against the Panthers.
I'm all for bold picks. I like it.
So now I'm going Devontae Adams against Tennessee. That'll be my flex.
Now it's my turn already. I'm kind of stuck here now already. Because that running back, they haven't used McCaffrey how I wanted them to.
He still put up 17 points in non-PPR.
I know.
last
I
week.
still gotta take McCaffrey. It's Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey.
You're taking him.
Yep. Oh, now I gotta go back to back. Yeah.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna probably go receiver, and I will take. I had a list, but I now kind of got a little messed up now. So I gotta take Cortland Sutton just based on if Judy's back or not. Yeah, I've taken Sutton every week. I know. You make the jokes.
It's been working out for you. So
Drew's going
He's
for
done-
last place again, it looks like.
Come on, he had 122 yards last week.
yep.
He's a high floor
I'm
pick
gonna
here.
go. I'll go with Patrick Mahomes at Indy.
Up 40.
I did have him. He probably will put
Oh,
up
I'm up
40.
again. No, I'm not. Jared's up.
I am. I got 2 now. So I'm just gonna go with my flex right away, and I'll take Eckler. I think they're
Okay.
against Jacksonville, and then I will take my quarterback. Who are the Cardinals against?
The Rams.
Cardinals. Yeah, no. Okay. I hate doing it, but I'll take Herbert. I mean, if he doesn't play, it's looking like he will play. If he doesn't, I get to change it, right?
I think he's gonna play. I don't know how much he's gonna be passing against Jacksonville.
If he plays one snap, he stays in your lineup though. That's how it worked with me and Trey Lance. So
Yeah, that's fine.
that's the rule.
So am I up now?
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts is looking good. I'm
No.
going with. I gotta go Pitts, right? I took him last week. He got me like 3 points, but
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Pitts again.
Okay, I'm taking George Kittle. So if he's back, basically, because Jimmy G and George Kittle got a connection. If Kittle's back, I think that's could be something there. I am doing a little quarterback receiver stack here. I'll be taking Kirk Cousins. So I'll be doing Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson against the Lions.
Okay.
So I need a running back. I'm going Joe Mixon.
And all I need is a tight end.
2
Is that
Bengals.
Yeah. You have Chase too. That's right. So out of Goddard, Schultz, and Gesicki, I'm gonna take. No, I'll take
Gesicki.
Dallas Goddard. I'll take Dallas Goddard this week.
I was thinking about Jelani Woods this week.
Hey, maybe we gotta change something up, right?
Nobody's
Maybe,
taking Freiermuth.
What about Josiah DeGuara?
I'm not in on Freiermuth yet.
I don't think that's sustainable either. I'm with Jared on this one.
Not yet.
17 targets in 2 games.
Yeah, I
No,
like my
not
picks.
sustainable.
Michael
He's
Thomas
not gonna.
over Pittman. Thomas has 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Pittman is coming off injury. I like my picks.
Jared likes
getting
his
last
picks.
this week. I'm calling it right now.
Jared's winning. Jared likes his pick.
Jared's getting like 70 points.
Hey,
Man.
my overall fantasy in all my leagues, what am I? 12
Shocker.
and 2 in 2
I
weeks.
actually, full disclosure, I put out a poll about how many times Jared was going to brag about this stuff in my dynasty league, and the winning result was about how Jared's going to brag about it so many times that we're going to lose track, and that's actually where we're at right now.
The only league that I lost in was the league that I didn't draft my team in. So
He didn't draft his team. So
I got thrown this team actually.
what about when he auto drafted his team also?
I
with
didn't
Chris
auto draft
Carson?
it.
Chris
I didn't
Carson in the
auto-draft
12th
it.
round.
I auto drafted
I know.
In
like
a dynasty league.
round
After you
23 to
retired.
28 or whatever it was.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Did we do
let's
our
move
game?
to
Yeah,
our.
we did do the game of the week, didn't we?
We're doing our week 3 stuff now here, Jared. You ready? Week 3.
Yep.
We're here. We're gonna. I don't know. Maybe we just do a little quick game picks for each one. You know, that's always fun to do. Are you guys willing to go through and do a game pick here?
Sure.
Yeah, why
let's
not?
do it. So we'll make it quick, and then we'll obviously go. We'll touch on the games we need to stay on. Steelers and Browns kick off Thursday Night Football. Who are you taking? I'll take here. I'm taking the Browns.
In
Pittsburgh.
Jacoby, huh? In Jacoby? Nah, I'm taking Pittsburgh as well.
In Jacoby, we trust.
Colts
Yes,
legend, Jacoby Brissett.
It's happening. All right. Let's go to the game. This is how my order goes. Game of the week. We're on 320 or at 325 on Fox. Packers Buccaneers. That one comes up on here. Tampa Bay is favorited. Jared, where would you go with this one?
Without Evans, without Julio, probably without Godwin, right?
Yep.
Yeah, all signs point the Packers here. So I'm going to go Buccaneers.
Fair. I like that reasoning.
Yeah.
Drew.
I think I'm taking Packers.
I'm going Packers too.
I don't know. Just without the receiving core. No, I think
It's gonna
now
be
the
an
receiving
ugly
cores
game,
are
I
equal.
think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's gonna
It's
be
gonna be an
tough to
ugly
watch.
game.
I think the receiving cores are on the same playing field now without Tampa's top
Yeah.
3.
Are you starting Tom Brady in that game if you have him in fantasy? I'm not.
Nope.
No.
Bench him.
Yep, that's the approach I'm at right now. Unless it's in a super flex where you might be like me and you are starting him or Geno Smith. So
Or you're like Zack, who only has one quarterback in a super flex league, right?
Hey, I got money.
but he's
Mitch,
tanking,
but
Jared.
He's on my
tanking
bench,
in that
so
one.
Oh, okay.
I'm not tanking.
He's tanking in 2 of 3 dynasty leagues.
No, I had Trey Lance. Now he's hurt, so I got money Mitch, but I'm
Yeah.
starting Garrett Wilson in my super flex.
That science says that does not work in your favor, but whatever. I don't know why it showed me that game of the week first. I just want to hit on that one. Let's go through the noon games, and I'm gonna first read them and then ask the one you're most excited to watch. Or you're most excited to watch at noon. So it's Texans and Bears, Raiders and Titans, Chiefs and Colts, Bills and Dolphins, Lions and Vikings, Ravens and Patriots, Bengals and Jets, Eagles and Commanders, and Saints and Panthers. That seems like a lot, but that is all at noon. Which game are you looking forward to watching the most?
Bills, Dolphins.
Yeah, I
Hopefully
think
we
you
get that
gotta say-
game.
You gotta
It's-
say Bills,
That
Dolphins,
that
right?
that will be the game, I'm sure, on CBS. That one's on
Yeah.
CBS. That it's going to be either that one or it's going to be Chiefs and Colts,
I
or
hope
yeah,
not. I don't want the world to see
Yeah.
the Colts lose by 30.
but they might show us based on where we are also geographically. They might show us Texans and Bears. Keep that in mind.
I'm sure
but
it's
I've
gonna be
gotten
bad,
Bengals
yeah.
games back-to-back weeks now, so
It might be like
I
Steelers.
feel like I'm
again.
getting Bengals Jets. I feel like that's gonna be the one I'm watching.
So yeah, that's CBS. Hopefully it's Bills and Dolphins. That's the must watch at noon. Otherwise on Fox we're gonna get for sure. It'll be Lions and Vikings. I guess thoughts on that. I mean that's gonna probably be a blowout. Maybe not a blowout, but it's gonna be.
I think that's gonna be a good
I
game.
got
Yeah.
Vikings by 2 scores. So
I
that's
got
kind of
Vikings
receiving.
by like 10.
I got
say.
Vikings by 3.
Oh, I got them by.
Bold
14.
take here by Zach Roche. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Lions
Um,
have been actually good.
It's the hard
They have
knocks.
been.
I'm telling you, it's hard knocks. Hyping
yeah.
them up.
It could be it, but let's go to the 3:00 games.
It didn't work for the Colts last year.
Yeah, I was just about to say I was not going to make the joke. Jaguars and Chargers. That's probably already my game. I'll tell you that right now. Rams and Cardinals, Falcons and Seahawks, other than the Packers one, of course. And yeah, then it's Packers and Buccaneers. But out of those, which games would you be looking at?
Rams, Cardinals. Probably.
Falcons and Seahawks.
Oh, what a game!
No, that's
No,
not the
yeah,
case. It'll
I think
be.
you gotta be saying Green Bay and Tampa or the Rams and.
What about
Cardinals.
Jaguars and Chargers? What if the Jaguars they go to SoFi?
You actually think that the Jaguars
they
going to be
go
good this year?
to Los Angeles, Jared. Listen to this.
How'd they do
get
week
the
one?
job done.
How'd they do week one?
How'd they do
Who did-
week 2?
they beat the Colts because the Colts are bad and they always beat the Colts. How'd they do
Well,
week
what
1?
if they just
They lost by
storm
6 to
Los
the
Angeles,
Commanders.
To the
they get the
Commanders,
job
a
done.
team that wasn't expected to be good this year, and they're
Listen to
1-1.
this. They give Travis Etienne the ball, and he's good in the outside, and he's good in open area, which they have not given
ETN
him.
puts up
open space.
35 fantasy points. Chargers win 38-35.
I still can't wrap my head around the Jaguars beating the Colts. I don't think they're going to win more than 5 games this whole year.
Really?
That's
The
my
Jaguars?
prediction.
They were in
I
this
don't-
division.
I think they're
I
the
don't see
9-18
them-
that Zach was trying to find at the start of the year or in the offseason. They could be the
They've
9-18
had
that Zach's
one
looking for.
good season in the last like
Well,
10
you bring in
years.
Doug Peterson. You bring in a well-respected guy. You bring in
Doesn't up their
Christian
talent
Kirk, who is
unless Lawrence
talented.
can make a huge jump this year, like Burrow season.
Yeah,
2.
we're banking on
Okay.
Lawrence
Happen.
coming back to
Let's look at their schedule here. They play the Giants. They play the Colts again.
Win,
Obviously,
win.
they play the Texans twice. They play Raiders, who haven't looked good. I mean,
Titans twice. They don't look good.
Yeah, Titans twice. But then they play like the Ravens, the Chiefs, and then they have like Lions, Cowboys, Jets. So I would say it's kind of like middle of the pack schedule.
You know, it's weird because they lose to good teams or like bad teams. Like they'll lose to like Tennessee, or not Tennessee, like Houston. But then they
and then
beat
they'll go beat
the
the
Bills.
Chiefs or something.
They beat the
Yeah.
Bills last year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So if we say 8-9, 9-8, I seriously think both. I think they could get 8 wins, 9
At
wins.
best,
It's
ceiling
7 or 8
ceiling
wins.
7-10, 7-10 ceiling.
I'm pushing for the 8-9. You have to admit
You're
it's more likely
overhyping
than the
them.
Jets.
They have
though.
one win.
No, it's
You're
more
overreacting
likely
because
than the
they beat the-
Jets. This team is in a better situation.
You're
than the
overreacting
Jets.
because
Hey,
they beat
Jets
a
can
bad
be 2-1
injured
after
Colts
this
team.
week.
Okay.
I'm not going to make
the
excuses
Jaguars
for
could
the
be
Colts.
2-1 too.
Hey, I'm not going to make excuses for the Colts. They didn't have Pittman, Pierce, Leonard. I know, but they beat a Colts team. You can't overreact and say they're going to win 9 games this year. They have 1 win on the year.
No, I'm saying that it could be the ceiling.
Okay, maybe. I said
That's
ceiling
fair.
7-10.
Yeah.
If you want to go a few games above, that's fine.
There we go. Okay. Well, that's what I'm
They're
looking
still
at
winning the
there.
division.
But is there any?
Zach, want to make another bet or?
Well, Jared, you
Yeah.
still owe me $20
Hey, it's coming. It's on its way. I'll wait until
after
week,
the Texans beat them too.
6.
All
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
So
Okay.
with that, is there any upsets that you're looking at through there? I mean, I already kind of threw one I'm looking at potentially in Jacksonville. And I do like Zach's pick as potentially the Jets, even though I chose the Bengals, but I really think the Bengals need a win, and I think they'll get one in week 3. So that's kind of why I didn't pick it. But
The Dolphins, if they continue this, I know it's a noon game, but I think that they could
Yeah.
maybe upset the Bills.
Being in Miami definitely helps them. The
Yeah.
weather is going to be a pretty big factor, but
Mhm.
I think Detroit
sure.
over Minnesota could be upset. That's
Mhm.
something we could see.
Okay.
Jacksonville for me. What other ones? Carolina's got to get on track. I mean, right now that would be considered an upset. I'm looking New Orleans is favored in the game -3. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, I'm with you guys where maybe I guess that Lions and Vikings one could be closer, but I just don't see it. And of course, Bills and Dolphins, that should be a great game. So, I mean, I'm looking through week 3. We got to talk about Monday night and Sunday night. So Sunday night is 49ers and Broncos. That is in Denver. Who is your pick in that game?
49ers.
Well, mine's 49ers. I
Yeah,
took them in
and mine's
picks,
I
so.
chose Broncos. I think Nathaniel Hackett's gonna actually start calling plays in a way that makes sense for the team to
Just
win.
gonna flip 180 and turn the team around, huh? I don't buy it.
No, I think that if they're without Judy, of course that hurts. But I think Cortland Sutton's going to see a lot of offense in that game come his way, and I also think Javonte, if he starts being utilized how we know he could be, which it could happen in week 3, Jared. You never know. I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's a 180, but I think maybe things start clicking with Russ.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't see
Plus,
it.
they're in Denver. They're in Denver.
All
That
ifs.
helps too.
Yeah.
They've played very close with Seattle and Houston, both not good teams. Now they play. San
Hey, what's
Francisco,
wrong?
who's a
What's
Jimmy
wrong with
G's
playing
started
close?
for-
good coach.
What's wrong
Jimmy
with playing
G-
close with Houston, huh? What's wrong with that?
It means you're not a good team.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It means you might lose
But-
to the Jaguars the next week.
Hey, that's proven to be correct, actually.
I know with of course we've seen reports of the locker room wanting Jimmy G almost as the quarterback, which I don't know if that's true or not, but there still I'm wondering, is Jimmy G, with him starting, is he good enough to have? Obviously, we've seen them win playoff games with Jimmy G, but in this game, I think that really, Jimmy G starting over, of course, Trey Lance with that unfortunate injury, I think that helps the Broncos' case. So that's something also.
And a lot of 49ers players came out and said they prefer.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like happy
I mentioned
now
that
Jimmy G's starting. Yeah,
Got Nathaniel Hackett and Kyle Shanahan. That coaching difference is crazy.
We'll see. We'll see. That's something. Be a good game on NBC. And let's go to the Monday night game. Cowboys against the undefeated Giants. Giants right now are favored in the game. Again, they're the home team. So they're the home team, Jared. So it's -1. It's not like they are outright.
It's pretty even then.
Yeah.
So
it's like +2. Neutral.
Cooper Rush is starting again for Dallas. So who are you picking in this game? Giants going 3-0?
No. They barely beat who'd they play last week? Panthers.
They barely beat them.
Barely snuck it out. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. They're getting carried by Saquon and maybe their defense. I don't really know.
So you think the Cowboys are that much better than the Panthers?
No,
right
I'd never said that. No. No, I didn't say that at all, actually. I don't buy the Giants yet.
So Sterling Shepard has gotten double-digit targets in back-to-back games. Is that sustainable? Is that something like who's going to be the receiver? And
I didn't know he was still relevant, honestly.
Well, I'm seriously wondering. Galladay, I don't think he has a future in.
You see what he said?
New York Tech.
You saw what he said, I'm sure, right?
What do you say?
He doesn't.
He got 2 targets, and he said, "I came here to play. Whether you like it or not, I want more playing time." He had 2. He played 2 snaps last week.
Kadarius Toney deserves it too. I mean, from a talent perspective, he's the most talented receiver there. Him and Wan'Dale Robinson, and guess who's not getting the ball? Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind. But I'll go Cowboys here. Rush looked better than I thought. He's still not a fantasy option, in my opinion, even in Superflex. But
no. Giants winning.
Okay, Zach going bold.
They're pulling
Giants,
it out.
huh?
3-0.
So what do you think? Super Bowl is going to be Giants and Jets? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm going Super Bowl is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. Fan bases are going to go insane. It'll be the best Super Bowl in the last 50 years.
Eagles just won it, and Bills are going to win it, right?
Yep.
Zach's calling a shot right now. I'm not calling my shot right now because
I'm going to stick to a rematch of – no, not rematch. I'm going to say Bills and Rams like I've been saying. I know Rams look shaky to start, but –
So I got to pick something right now?
You don't have to. I'm just –
Really?
Nope, he's got it.
He's got
no, I can't say the Packers right now with how it's looked.
Yeah.
I do like that Eagles pick, Zach, so I'm not going to copy you, though. I still think the Chargers can do it. So
watch out for that AFC South, though. They're coming in hot. Just letting you know.
I'll say Chargers, and I'll give a squad. I'll say Chargers and Eagles right now. 2 young quarterbacks going at it.
Realistically, right now, AFC is looking like either Chargers, Chiefs, or Bills. Right? Can we all agree on that?
Dolphins look good, too.
Okay.
Yes, we can. What if we overthought? This is a thought.
They're not in the tier of those 3 teams.
Why? What's holding them back? Come on. They've looked amazing to start the year. We didn't think the Bengals could be in that tier last year. Look at them,
Tua's thrown at least 2 picks this year against Buffalo, or this week against Buffalo.
We can say that he's going to do something, but you've been saying he's going to be not bad, but not as good.
We're 2 weeks into the year, Jared, in a
17
we're
all
game
overreacting
season, 18
here.
week overall.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you guys just said Eagles are making the Super Bowl. We're overreacting. We are.
They've looked the best in the NFC this year so far.
So the Dolphins have looked the best in the AFC, haven't they?
No.
Besides the Bills?
What if we've been just overthinking this the whole time? What if the Chiefs just make the Super Bowl? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what if it ends up being just a simple answer?
My last takeaway was, I didn't read it, but I just said Chiefs are still fine without Tyreek Hill. That was like my last takeaway.
Yep,
I thought that was just obvious.
I want to just throw this in. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is a buy low right now. He had 4 points last week.
Yeah.
Looking at him. I mean, I mentioned Al Robinson last week as a buy low. I know he just got a touchdown, so his numbers were inflated, but the target share is going to be on the uptrend.
Who put up their numbers last week? Because I know Kelsey had like 3 points. They didn't have like anything.
Kelsey had like 10.
I started McCole Hardman, Jared, and it paid off.
He had I'm talking non-PPR. He had like 5.
Well, they had the pick 6, so their offense only put up, 20 points?
Right.
Yeah. So if that's
was
2 field goals, I mean, 2 touchdowns.
True.
It was like weird with McKinnon. Like there's Edwards-Helaire. Like there's like 3 guys in the backfield, of course, with Pacheco a little bit too. Throwing it in here. I got it up
Yeah,
also. Justin Watson had like a long play. MVS had
one of their
2.
touchdowns.
Pacheco, Drew, he had like
touchdowns.
1 carry for like 6 yards going into the 4th. He looks good.
I was
but he's just
running
not
the run
used.
guys.
He's not.
Yeah,
I know,
Jared,
he's not
I've
used
I've
a
already
lot.
traded him in all leagues for 2nd-round picks.
Okay.
So
Drew
we're-
hypes people up and then trades them.
Yeah.
No.
He hyped up Chase Edmonds, and now I started Miles Sanders
Okay.
over him. So
Oh,
saw-
come on. You can't
Drew,
blame
you
me on
hype
that.
up Pacheco, you trade him in all leagues. You hype up Komet, don't have him in any leagues.
Well, that's
Seems
just
like a
how
trend here.
that's just how it goes because Komet was going at a premium. I'm not paying for a Komet in what was it, 8th round, 9th round he was going sometimes. Why
Oh
would I get him in 8th, 9th round? I mean, he just didn't fall to me. I still liked him as a pick. Chase Edmonds
no,
too.
it's
Like,
a
I
little
would have
fishy.
taken him. You got him from me, and things can change on Pacheco. I mean, if you're watching training camp, watching preseason, I never really talked about it on the podcast, but if you're just watching Pacheco, well, he wasn't finding holes. I mean, you could just see, kind of how he was more of a player in that last preseason game when more stars were playing, and he didn't really look like maybe other people are seeing more or the Kansas City seeing more, but I kind of went off the hype train a little bit watching him run the ball. I mean, it was as simple as that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you not buying it, Zach? You look.
Well, I was never very high on Pacheco, if that's what you're asking, but
I was with reports and with
Drew-
how like the first few games went in preseason.
I think you said that like Pacheco's a good guy to draft at the end of a draft. You never said he was like, a viable starter ever, or even make a roster spot. So like, I don't think you've ever said that. I think you've always been saying like he's a good throw-in guy just to get at the end of your draft.
Yeah. It was him. I mentioned Josh Palmer, who has been, because guess what? Keenan Allen got hurt. I mean, we don't have to go right through all of our picks right now and say we're right about everything, because all of us were right about some things. All of us were right about some not
Like
some things.
Devontae Parker.
Or if you're Jared and you're perfect.
No, I'm not perfect. I said Devontae Parker was going to be a sleeper. I don't think he's gotten the ball this year. He has like 1 catch or 2 catches.
Didn't we call Monra St. Brown a bust? I'm pretty sure it was me. So you know
you
what?
did, and I kind of softly agreed with you.
Oh,
but-
so he softly agreed.
he's looked terrible so far this year. Yeah,
Oh,
you
come
guys
on.
really hit that one.
Terrible, yeah.
In my defense, I don't think that target share is that's not sustainable. When Jameson Williams comes back, I think his target share is going to go down.
He's a
I
rookie.
also-
It's going to be hard
targets in 8 straight games,
Yeah.
or
Zach,
8+ targets. Yeah,
come on. You
Come on.
think? Do you think Amonra is going to be? What's his ceiling?
for wide receiver finish,
Yep.
his ceiling's top 10.
I'll agree with you. I was going to say 10. I was
think
like
Swift-
12 was in the back of my head.
I think Swift is like questionable too. So if he doesn't play,
He's back. There's
Is
a
he
report
back?
that just came out like an hour ago that he's
they
feeling
said
good.
he's been progressing, but he was still limited today at practice or something like
Yeah, I
that.
took his over in rushing yards. He had 3 attempts for like 56. His lineups at 61.5.
So,
Oh, that was
Zach, I like how
not happy
you
about
you
that.
were saying, of course, like Drew and I's picks both hit on Monday night, and you're like, oh, of course, the 1 week I take Sanders, he does nothing, and then he just goes off for like 60 more to end.
no.
the,
I
end
said
the
the 1 week I picked Sanders, Jalen Hurts turns into Mahomes.
game.
'Cause he had like I think he
Yeah.
had like 15 attempts and he had like 300 yards or something like that at the time.
Well, we did hit that Monday night line, right?
2 for 2 on Monday nights.
We do well on
Yeah.
primetime games. I mean, that's
Mhm.
what we've said. And I guess let's talk more about kind of what will be coming out. Zach, I'll kind of let you talk about it. Sunday night, right? There's going to be some lines. We'll be doing stuff for that.
Yeah, so we're adding. We've been doing the Thursday night and then the Monday night, and then we each do our own Sunday one. But now we're going to be adding one that's Sunday night where the 3 of us all contribute a line. So more primetime games, hopefully more parlay
money.
hits.
More
money.
fun. Yeah, more money is right too. And keep on a lookout for that. Of course, the takeaways on the Instagram story or in TikTok. Of course, that's also Drew Sports Crew. Very simple stuff. And then, of course, power rankings. Keep those in mind. What were the Colts at, Zach? 21?
Yeah, I'm at 21, I think.
Oh, I saw Jared. How do you feel about that? You look really happy.
Honestly, no. I'm happy you put them that high. I think they should be like 25 or 26.
Wow.
Zach said it like he put him at 21. He's like, I don't think he saw he was there at 21 yet, thinking I was gonna think they should be like top 20. No,
I mean,
they
in the
haven't
past-
proven anything. At this
You were
point in the
mad
season,
about
No, I was mad about your Packer pick.
Yeah,
you put him
because
at
he's
7.
grumpy because he thinks the Packers are
I
better
put
than
him
the
at like
Colts.
7.
Huh? No, the Packers are better than the Colts, but they're not a top 7 team right now. They beat the Bears. What else have they
Yeah.
done? Come on.
It's 2 weeks. I mean, what could they have else done other than beat the Vikings? Which a
Well,
lot
they
of people
got
had them losing that game.
destroyed by the Vikings, right?
Okay, like I said, if you put I had Ravens at 8. If you put Ravens over them, I'm fine with that.
Where'd
I
you
have
have
no
the
issue with
Dolphins?
that. The Dolphins, I had 6 ahead of them.
Okay.
So then, like after the Ravens, it's like the Rams.
The Rams, you still have to
Are you
put the
gonna put
Rams
them?
up there. You still have to, don't you?
The Rams got destroyed by Buffalo, and then they looked
What's
very shaky
Buffalo?
against Atlanta.
They looked amazing until the end of the game, and then they almost choked.
They
it
only won
away.
by 4.
I know.
All right,
And then
we'll let
San
this
Francisco, so
power rankings debate
Yeah.
wrap up post show, but we'll get through some more than the announcements. So just keep the parlay stuff in mind. That of course all at Drew Sports Crew on all the list, all on the social media platforms. That's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Drew's Sports Crew. And yeah, I mean, we'll be bringing this back next week, as always, for episode 44. Right, Zach? It's 44.
Remember that? Yeah.
next
Remember?
week
The
44.
quiz.
Yep.
44.
Ask
Boom.
me, I
We'll be
remember.
asking you. I might even ask you
like
live next week.
38
So just
or
keep that
something.
ready. Be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's all we have here. Again, remember promo code J2M to begin your journey to $1 million today. Right? Remember on Thrive Fantasy. That link will be down below. And that's all we got here. Myself, Drew Skyberg, Zach Roush, and Jared Valesky. That's going to wrap it up for us here. So thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the journey to $1 million, the perfect podcast for you.